This is a video response to a message I received, a personal message. I just want to answer it in video form by speaking because it's easier, and maybe you could reach out to other people and spark something possibly by what I have to say in response. So you mentioned my book, that you read the book, and at first you're a little disappointed by it because it was a little short, and that you learned most of the stuff in the book in most of the videos that I've already produced. But at the same time, you realize that although it's short, there's something, the quality over the quantity. What I have to say about the book is that as I'm progressing through life and learning from my experiences, I'm seeing that the truth can't really be put. I know for a fact that truth cannot be set in stone. And the problem with writing is that it tends to make things more permanent, and people think that that's what it is when you start putting things on paper, when really truth is changing. As you age, as you mature, you will grow and you will see things differently than what you might have seen, a different way than you might have seen in the past. That's why, the greatest sages, some of the greatest sages, they don't put anything in writing. Socrates did not put anything in writing. All his teachings were verbal, direct. It was Plato who was the writer, and he would convey the teachings of Socrates in writing, but Socrates did not put anything in paper. He just verbalized, direct passing on of the wisdom. Buddha did not put anything in paper. He would just teach directly like Socrates. And Lao-Tzu really did not want to put anything on paper. He was about to leave, the common life and head towards the mountains, about to leave the gate. The gatekeeper stopped him, had him write something down just to share his wisdom. That's when he wrote the Tao Te Ching, and the Tao Te Ching is very short. You see it, it's only like 81 poems, and that's it. But yet it contains such a great amount of wisdom and guidance that it goes beyond most of any text that you will ever find. Also, another great sage did not put anything in writing. He was just basically speaking, teaching, lecturing, directly communicating to share the wisdom that he had from within. It was later on that the people, his disciples, would put his teachings into writing. They would video record him. They would basically verbatim go through his teachings and put it into book format. So I'm starting to understand why these people do not want to put things in writing, because people, when they see something in writing, they think that that's what it is, when really things are changing. And really, what I like about the internet, about the website, for example, that I have, is that I could constantly change things, and I've been constantly changing things. My art is constantly changing because I'm changing. I'm not dead, I'm living. I'm not like Bruce Lee, who's passed away, or Socrates, who's passed away, or anybody who's passed away who can't respond. I respond immediately. Somebody writes me a message, I respond. But if I wasn't living, somebody writes me a message, they're not going to get a response. If I wasn't living, my website would stay the same, year after year after year. But I'm living, and it's changing day after day, minute after minute. I'm constantly changing things. I'm constantly updating things. I'm constantly figuring out a better way to do things, a better way to teach. And the great thing about the internet, the website, for example, is that you can make those changes immediately. But when it comes to writing, for example, if I publish a book out there and I write something down that basically makes it confuses people, and I'm not there to explain it to them, and then all of a sudden thousands of people buy that copy. They have that copy already. There's nothing I could do about it anymore. That's one of the great downfalls of writing. And really, just watching my videos and stuff like that, for the most part, it will contain, my teachings that you will find already in the book. But the book is basically for people that don't really like to watch videos too much and don't want to spend too much time on the internet. They'd rather just read something. So I just decided to write something to help people express myself in that aspect. But at the same time, I wanted to simplify it as much as I can to basically give my basic, simple guidelines of what I believe would lead a person towards greater peace and happiness in life and joy. Very simple guidelines. And if people just follow those simple guidelines, I believe that they'll find greater peace and happiness. That's basically what the book was for. Alright, then, you mentioned something about New Year's and the mechanical thing of it and the superficialness of it. And I completely see what you're seeing. I've always, I've seen it for many years. And believe me when I read what you said, that you're not alone in your thoughts. See that when you see what you saw, you're heading towards a bigger reality. You're heading towards truth. And the truth is really every single moment, every breath is a new year. It's a new beginning. But in order to understand that, it takes a higher consciousness. And simply most people don't have that understanding. They don't have that higher consciousness. So they live in very mechanical ways. They wait for specific days in order to enjoy life rather than enjoying life right now, right here. They'd wait until the new year in order to make a change in their lives for the better, rather than making a change right here, right now. They'll wait until their birthdays to celebrate rather than celebrating right here, right now. People don't realize that the beauty of life is right now. There's nothing in the future to celebrate. We're supposed to celebrate right now. And you're starting to see that, and that's a higher consciousness. That's what I mean by being spiritually aware. That's what I mean by taking yourself to a higher level spiritually. That's what I mean by the spiritual training in the martial arts. It should lead you towards a higher consciousness. Yes, and I do feel, understand what you're saying when, you see that people are just being very mechanical when they greet, saying, hello, how are you? It just becomes a mechanical thing. It's not real. There's no substance behind it, and I feel that as well. We're surrounded by a lot of superficialness. People that just smile, fake smiles, is not real. Inside they have hatred towards you. Inside they're mad at you, but on the outside they smile. Inside they don't care about your life. They don't care how you're doing at all. They care less about you, but they still ask you, how are you? Just to be nice. Just to go through the mechanics of human interaction in order to be polite, in order to follow etiquette. I see all that, and you're seeing it as well. You see the foolishness of it, the ridiculousness of it. Because when you experience something real, when you have real relationships with real people that are real with you, that express themselves truthfully from the heart, or truthfully from within, it amplifies all this fake superficialness from other people, and you get more. You end up getting more, less tolerating. It becomes. You're able to, it's harder to tolerate such a, this type of expression, this fake expression. So I see that, I have no doubt why Lao-Tzu would want to go off into the mountains, or why, a lot of great artists may turn to their art. Because why waste your time communicating people that aren't even real with you, when you could be spending your energies and your time into developing yourself and taking yourself to a higher level in whatever you want to do, no matter if it be the practice of some art or any craft. I see that when you sense people that are fake, that are superficial, then at least you can identify that immediately. And then when you sense the real, I'd say that that's the time that you appreciate those types of people and you embrace those people. And those are the type of people that help you take yourself to a higher level, no matter it be physically, mentally, or spiritually. And I say that you should keep going to a higher level. All the great sages that have ever lived have always been at a high level. No matter it be Buddha, Jesus, Gandhi, Krishna, Osho, Lao-Tzu, even Bruce Lee. They all have achieved very high levels of understanding, of being, of living. And I think that that's what we all should aim for, rather than just settling at the base and just being mediocre, being fake and superficial, but rather to be real and to express ourselves truthfully. As far as your motivation to keep training, I encourage that, and I'm here to help. To keep you motivated, and whatever questions you have, let me know. And just keep training hard physically. I know that these standards that I'm establishing aren't easy to meet, but there's a reason behind it. I want people to show that they have this discipline, to train themselves, to take care of themselves, to do good for themselves. Because that shows a lot. And that's, to me, what indicates a true martial artist. Somebody that has that inner discipline, that's unmotivated by such things as fame or money or women or corruption, but you just do it because you love it. And really, the books that I've read, I've been more clear with exactly what I expect from the people that I train. And I posted it on my website. I'm constantly updating my website, so you could visit my website at FREDDIE'S.com. Look under the rules and rank. Under there, you'll see exactly what I expect from the people that I train, the disciples. And at the bottom, you'll see spiritual training. Under spiritual training, I have listed specifically what books that I want people to read in order to obtain rank for my art. Now, if you're well read and you've read a lot of books already, the books that you've read that are related to the martial arts will be able to replace some of the books that I'm required for others to read. What's important is that you grasp the understanding of the philosophy of the martial arts. It's not necessarily specifically what book you read, but you need to have that understanding. If you can show that understanding, that's what matters. So I will provide you the link to that website so you can check that out. And I'm glad the Music Industry Exposed video series was able to get you to see things differently and maybe expose some of the corruption that's going on. And I think it's very important for us to be able to find the positive and not to allow ourselves to be corrupted.